I care about my appearance, I do. I care about how I look. There was a period in my life where I didn't. That period was called marriage. I was happily married for 10 years. And then 14 years ago, I lost my wife to cancer. It started out as breast cancer and then metastasized into brain cancer. And it's really sad and tragic. And what's even more tragic is that's my two favorite parts of a woman. Brains and boobs. You know, some guys are all about the butt. But for me, I've always been about knockers and knowledge. Mensa and mammaries. Freud and fun bags. Darwin and double D's. Jugs and Jeopardy. Her name was Lisa, and I loved her very much. And she was a very peaceful, tranquil girl who enjoyed the simple things in life, like painting, gardening, and kicking ass. Yeah. She loved kickboxing. You know, she used it as a release from all the stress from the painting and the gardening. But she never used it on people. Well, there was this one time. We were leaving this bar in this shady part of Chicago called Chicago. And I was backing my car out of a parking spot when this pimped out Cadillac pulled up behind us. And I assume it was a pimp because Chicago. And he blocked us in, and my wife politely said, "Hey, would you mind moving? We're leaving, and you're blocking us." And then this woman of the evening stuck her head outside the caddy and said, "We'll move when we're good and ready, bitch." Well, my wife immediately struck a kickboxing pose. And the hooker immediately struck a hoe pose. "Oh, no, you didn't." And then my wife kicked the hooker's wig off, breaking the cardinal rule of never de-wig a hooker. And then the biggest pimp I ever saw grabbed me, pushed me up against the wall. "Call her off, man, call your bitch off." I was like, "Hey, man, that's my wife. I'm her bitch." And then his expression of rage turned to one of compassion. He's like, "Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab my bitch and get out of here. You, negotiate with your wife." So I cautiously approached my wife, and she was flying high on adrenaline. She was like, "Man, that was awesome! Let's find more prostitutes! I want to kick more hooker ass!" And I was like, whoa, calm down, Bruce Lisa. You know, Batman didn't clean up Gotham in a single night. Baby kicks. When the doctors told us that she was terminal, they said, all we could do now is hope for the best but prepare for the worst. I was like, hope for the best, prepare for the worst? 8 years of medical school and that's the best you can do? You can find something better to say on Instagram. I mean, it's like saying, hey, dress for the Academy Awards, but we might end up at Denny's. Or you just want to date with a celebrity, hope for Bradley Cooper, but expect Scott Baio. Because of the brain cancer, she would slip into these comas that would last about 24 or 36 hours. But she slipped into this one that lasted like 3 days, and I was livid. I was freaking out, and I tried to do everything I could to get her out of it. Yeah, I read to her, I sang to her. I dressed like a hooker. Doused myself in boxed wine and wet wipes to recreate the smell. Put a sign on my back that said, "Kick me." Whispered sweet nothings in her ear. "Oh, no, you didn't, bitch." Nothing. But then I said, "I love you." And she said, "I love you too." And then the nurse walked in, and I said, "She's back, my love brought her back." And the nurse said, she came out of that coma 3 hours ago. She was sleeping. You woke her up, you dickhead. She was a devout Catholic, and since we were married for 10 years and we didn't have kids, she thought that God was punishing her because of that. I said, don't be ridiculous. God isn't punishing you for that. It's because you beat up a hooker. God loves hookers. Jesus hung out with one. And we didn't have a lot of money, and so she said, hey, you know, when I go, just have me cremated and bury me in the backyard. It's like, okay, we live in a condo. That's the common area. Perhaps I could do something more meaningful, like toss your ashes into the face of a hooker. And when she finally left, I said I never wanted to find love again. I never did. And to make sure of that, I moved to LA.